I've been in Albania for a short while, but it only took me a day here to realise this country is nothing like I imagined. Albania is one of Europe's most underrated destinations and maybe one of its biggest surprises. A place where brand new skyscrapers rise next to communist bunkers, where palm-lined beaches meet rugged mountain cliffs, and where the past and future seem to collide at every turn. Don't be fooled by what you think you know about Albania. There's so much more here than meets the eye. A country laid of history, resilience, and incredible warmth. In this guide, I'm going to show you the side of Albania that travellers often miss, the real vibe of Tirana, the hidden gems, and the tips that will help you make the most of your trip. So whether you're planning to visit soon or just curious about what Albania is really like, stick around because this place might just end up on your travel list too. In this video, we'll cover 10 of the best things to do when in Tirana and the best ways to get around the city, what to watch out for when in the city, how safe is the country and should you be worried, how much it costs to take money from ATMs and how to avoid getting ripped off, the best areas to stay in Tirana and the best road trips from Tirana. Also, let's not forget the amazing food places that you can eat at when you're in the capital. And finally, the big question, should you actually visit Albania? So stick around till the end so you don't miss out on all the details. And guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yad and I'm from the UK and I create travel videos from all around the world, and I've spent the last couple of weeks in Albania and honestly I've been pleasantly surprised. And if you're new here and you haven't already, don't forget to press the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more videos like this around the world and in Albania. But by all means, I think we should jump straight into today's video. First things first, when you arrive at the airport, you're probably going to want to either change some money or maybe use the ATMs or even buy a SIM card. So first thing when it comes to the ATMs in Albania, I was genuinely shocked at how much they charge to take money out. So they charge basically each time I was taking money out, it was around 5 to 6 euros each time. And usually when I travel around the world, I use Revolut as they don't charge to take any money out. And the exchange rate that I get is usually amazing. There are a lot of places in Albania that still want cash only. Most do accept card, but there are the odd places that still require cash. So it's very important to still have a little bit of cash with you when you are in Albania. So overall, I think I wasted like 20 euros just in taking out cash. I'm giving you guys this tip so you don't waste your money. So what I'd recommend doing before going to Albania is taking a little bit of cash with you in your home currency and either change it up at home or change it up in Albania. Either way, you're going to save tons of money instead of withdrawing money. Now you can use your card to pay for things as well, your foreign card, but again it depends on your bank if they're going to charge you for it or not. And the next thing, you're probably going to want to grab a taxi when you're at the airport if you're not renting a car straight from the airport. So taxis were actually not too bad. I was pleasantly surprised. It was only 25 euros from the airport to the center of Tirana, which was the area called Blloku that we stayed in. And I'll get into a little bit more of that and the type of areas you can stay in later in this video. But I think 25 euros for a 30-minute drive, honestly, was very affordable. And I heard a lot of horror stories before going there, so I'll be careful of the taxis when you get there because they may really rip you off. And honestly, they could have ripped us off because when we arrived, it was myself, my wife and my daughter, and we had so many bags. And honestly, we don't travel light. We have like 3 big suitcases, 2 small ones and some backpacks, you know, with all the camera gear. We did require a bigger taxi as well, and it was actually a really nice one. So overall 25 euros was definitely worth it. And when you arrive in Albania, you're probably going to want to have internet. And for me, because UK is no longer in the EU, it's just such an issue. My local SIM card only gives me like a few gigabyte of free data in other European countries. So every time I travel Europe now, I have to buy a SIM card or I have to find some way to get internet. But personally for me, when I arrived in Tirana, the queue to buy a SIM card was just so big, and it's such a waste of time. I've stopped now buying SIM cards when I go to any country. And if you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know that I use a company called Holafly. They're not sponsoring today's video, I know they usually do, but they are literally have saved me so much money. It's an eSIM that I can buy this eSIM before I even arrive to the country, and I just activate it as soon as I land. So I just switch on the toggle to switch on the internet. So as soon as my airplane lands in the country, I have internet, and it's so much easier because you can choose how many days exactly you want to have the internet for. So anyway, if you guys wanted to get an eSIM as well, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to get your discount. You'll get 10% if you use my link, and you can use the same discount code as many times. So it doesn't matter how many times you travel around the world, you can just use Yad Ventures and you'll always get 10%. Next, let's start off with getting around the city of Tirana and how you're actually going to move around. And personally for us, we loved walking. So we stayed in the Blloku area and everything was walkable. We didn't even need to take a taxi. It was just super nice and convenient. We just walk outside. There's so many cafeterias, grocery stores. Everything was very, very close. And we didn't have to walk any longer than about 20 to 30 minutes to get to one place or another. However, if you go and let's say it's raining or the weather's not too great and you just obviously don't want to be walking around, I actually found a cab company, and I'll share that cab company with you because I needed to find a cab to take me back to the airport because we rented a car which I could only pick up from the airport, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute as well. So the reason I used this company is because our Airbnb host recommended just to do a little Google search in Tirana to find a taxis locally, and he said all the taxi companies all use WhatsApp, so it's so easy to communicate with them. So I found this taxi company, and this is the name of them just up here, and they were very, very convenient. I messaged them on WhatsApp and I just shared my exact location via WhatsApp as well, because one thing you'll realize when you're in Tirana is that a lot of the apartments don't have numbers. It's very, very confusing. So if you are organizing cabs and things like that, to use WhatsApp is very, very convenient because you can just pin your location and they'll come exactly to where you live. And the cab was very affordable as well. It only cost me like 15 euros to go back to the airport. So yeah, that's another thing worth mentioning. On the way back to the airport area, it was much cheaper because obviously it was me on my own and I didn't have any bags. So again, the 25 euros that you pay for the airport transfer into the city, I think is really affordable. Another option you're probably going to want to take up on when you are in Tirana, if you're looking to do road trips, is renting a car. So we rented a car with a company called Discover Cars, and I've used them a few times. It's like an online comparison website where they find you the best deal. It's super convenient as well because they've got their own insurance. So if anything happens, you can just literally claim all your money back from them. And you know, when you're on a trip, the last thing you want to do is have any issues when it comes to cars. So we used Discover Cars to rent really nice red Ford Kuga. It was like a brand new car, and I had to go pick it up at the airport. That was the only annoying thing, but again, it didn't cost too much to go there because I just got that company that I mentioned a minute ago to take me there, which didn't cost too much, only 15 euros. And then on the way back, when we dropped the car, we just drove straight to the airport and dropped the car to the company, and then they dropped us to the airport, which is literally like a 2-minute drive. I'll leave a link in the description box as well where you can visit and get your special discount for yourself. Now, another question I got so often about Albania when I was there and I was sharing stories on my Instagram and YouTube: is Albania a safe country? That was one of the biggest questions, honestly. And we were there for 2 weeks and we didn't have any serious concerns or major issues that I could honestly report on. But the only thing that did happen, which we found really, really odd, we basically drove down to Vlora, which is one of the coastal cities, the third largest city in Albania. We had rented out an Airbnb. And where we had parked the car, after like 2-3 days, it was like a community area gated where you can park your car. But after like a couple of days of having our car there, somebody had left this cigarette sticker. It was like the butt of the sticker, but they had like glued it onto the front of the car, like the window, which I just found really odd because why would something like that randomly land there? So I just thought like maybe somebody's marked the car to do something like criminal against it, because it just looked really, really suspicious. I've read a lot of stuff online when people mark cars for various reasons, and I've previously had one of my cars when I lived in Dubai stolen. So yeah, in Dubai, exactly. So that's a story for another day. But since that happened, I've become very, very cautious at these type of things. So I did a little bit of research online, and it apparently means in Vlora, the area, that if somebody does something like that, they're not happy that you've parked your car in their area or something like that. But yeah, very weird. I mean, I wasn't parked in a place where I wasn't supposed to park because it was a communal area and we had paid for the Airbnb. So our Airbnb host said we're more than welcome to park there. Anyone that lives in the building is able to park there. Luckily, nothing happened and nothing really came from it. Besides that, we had no issues when we were in Tirana. The city felt very safe. We didn't go out at night, so unsure about the nightlife or nighttime. But during the day and in the sunset time, it was honestly so pleasant. Really nice to walk around. like anywhere in the world, just be mindful like you would in your home country. Just don't do anything you wouldn't do in your home country, and then other than that, you'll be fine. Albanian people are super hospitable, very friendly, and straight to the point as well. Next, we're going to dive into the best things to do when you are in Tirana, and these are going to be the best 10 things you can do in the city, and they're in no particular order, so make sure you stick around to the end of it so you don't miss out on any of these 10 things to do. Now firstly, we'll start off with the area that we stayed in, and it's actually the Blloku area. This is Tirana's most lively and trendiest district. It was actually once restricted to communist elites, and it's now full of cafes, bars, boutiques, and plenty of ice cream gelato shops. And when you are in Tirana, guys, you have to have your gelatos every day because that's just something people do here. It's a great place to wander with literally no plan, just soak in the modern energy, stop for a coffee, and if you really like, you can also do some people watching. Or maybe that's just me getting a little bit old. And if you're into a little bit of nightlife as well, the area does come alive at night. There is a lot of bars, and I think there's a few clubs around there, but not that I did any of that because I was there with my daughter, so it's not that time. But if you guys wanted to explore the Albanian nightlife, there's plenty of that to do in the area. Next, I would recommend, it's also in the Blloku area, is Hana Cafe. It's super nice. It's very well known to the locals, and it's a stylish spot for coffee, brunch and desserts, and it's known for its cozy vibe. It's got really good coffee and really well presented dishes. It's great for a break while exploring Blloku, so if you just wanted to sit down somewhere and enjoy a little bit of coffee and nice cake, they'll have you covered. And the prices of the coffees honestly wasn't too expensive. It was roughly around €2 for a coffee, or just under €2, and it was a really nice cappuccino. Next is one of my favorite things I enjoyed in Tirana, and it's the Pyramid of Tirana. So it's basically an old communist monument turned into a cultural space. You can actually climb it, but be careful because it actually is quite steep. And once you get to the top, the views that you see are just so stunning. You've got the backdrop of the mountains with the city, and honestly, it was very beautiful. And once you reach the top, there's also a cafe where you can chill and take in the scenery. And the surrounding plaza, it's basically got these colourful modern buildings, and it's great to get some photos there, or if you just want to check out some of the shops and some of the other cafeterias that serve nice cakes and croissants. And once you finish from the pyramid, you can head over to Skandeberg Square. So this is one of the most popular things to do when you are in Tirana. It's basically in the heart of Tirana, and a huge pedestrian square with statues, museums and national buildings. You can grab a coffee at one of the nearby cafes and sit down and watch the local life, and often towards sunset time it has performances, markets or even events. They've also got one of the most oldest mosques in Europe there, and it basically goes back to the Ottoman era with all these beautiful artwork designs that have been painted on the mosque. It really is unique, and I definitely recommend checking it out when you're there. And if you're into your shopping and want to check out their bazaars, which is basically their like outdoor markets, head over to an area called Pazari I Ri. Hopefully I've said that right. It's the new bazaar. It's basically a historical area that's been revamped. I honestly loved it. For me personally, that was my favorite area of Tirana because I just loved how it was, how it had the real feel of Albanian culture. It didn't have too many high-rise buildings. Everything was just all on the same level. It has loads of cafeterias around there. You can just walk around. We went to the new bazaar. They sell some really interesting things, and when we were there, I don't know if we just went too late or it was the wrong time of day, but they just had like these really old antiques, like super old phones, and they just had like some fridge magnets and all of that stuff. So I was a little bit underwhelmed, but I saw a lot of stuff online where people were saying it's really good. So maybe if you guys go a little bit earlier in the day, because we went towards sunset time and it did look like a lot of the stalls were packed up, so maybe we just went at the wrong time. And the surrounding streets have got a really fun vibe with plenty of restaurants, bars and little shops that you can check out. And whilst you are in the area and you want to grab some food, this is when you have to head over to a place called Odas Garden. It's literally like a hidden gem of Tirana personally for me. It's this restaurant that's really tucked away in this corner that I didn't expect to open up the way it did. As you walk in, it opens up into this really lush, beautiful little garden with all the tables and chairs laid out. We had tavakosi, which is this yogurt with a lamb inside, and it was very, very interesting. I never thought I'd have like a yogurt dish mixed with lamb. And we also had this like cottage cheese thing, but somebody said in the comments it's not cottage cheese, it's gizli. Maybe if you're Albanian you can correct me, but honestly it tastes like cottage cheese, but it's like a warm cottage cheese with these big beans, which were just so tasty. Once you're finished from Odas garden, you'll want to head over to Tirana Castle. And for me personally, when I heard castle, I thought it's going to be like really old school design and very historic, but it was actually very far from that. It's more of a historic complex that's now home to modern restaurants, cafes, and loads of touristy style shops, and a mix of old walls and trendy new businesses. And it's a great spot for coffee, or just if you want to have a nice dinner, because there's really beautiful restaurants around there, or if you just wanted to have a walk down there and enjoy it, you can, because it's very walkable. No cars or bikes can get down there, it's literally all closed off. We stopped off at this cafe and it was called Chocolatey or something along those lines. This is it here, you can see it now. And we had this amazing croissant with pistachio filled and chocolate filled. Honestly, something with Tirana, they love filling their croissants with chocolate or pistachio. I don't think I've ever had so many pistachio desserts than I did when I was in Tirana, so enjoy it guys. And I think that may be because of the Italian influence, because the Italians left a big influence in Albania. Next, head over to the Bunk'Art Museum, which is basically the city bunkers museum. It's an old bunker that was previously used as a hiding spot for the government officials all those years ago during the communist times, and now it's basically turned into a fascinating underground museum inside a real communist era bunker. And it explains all of Albania's isolated history under Enver Hoxha, and it's great for the history lovers. Now, another food place I'd recommend, head over to a place called Era Restaurant. It's one of the best spots in Tirana to get some local food, and I was so blown away because we ordered some grilled meat, and wow, honestly, people of Albania, you know how to make your grilled meat, because it was so delicious. Like we have got some lamb chops, some chicken, it was grilled to perfection, super tasty. And I remember it was a little bit more expensive. We paid around 40 euros or so for three of us, myself, my wife and my daughter. And but honestly, it was actually very worth it because the meat came out just perfect. It wasn't chewy, it was so delicious. So if you want to treat yourself a little bit, then you can. But I mean, 40 euros for 3 people is not too bad. And number 10 on the list is Tirana Park. So this is basically the grand park of Tirana, and it's the city's green lung essentially. We really loved it because it's surrounded by a large artificial lake with walking paths, playgrounds, cafes along the water, and it's great for escaping the city buzz if you just want something different. Also, if you're still watching until now guys, I just want to say a huge thank you, and please, if you can hit the subscribe button, because I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, and it means so much when you guys subscribe and like the video, and also comment if you can be bothered. I know it's long sometimes, but the like and the subscribe is more than enough. And I'm also doing a little bit of an incentive for you guys. Once I reach 100k subscribers, I'm going to take one of my subscribers with me on a travel vlogging adventure with me. So as soon as that 100k happens, I will announce who that person will be on my community post, so keep up to date with those as well. Now let's jump into the next part of this video, which is road trips. So when you're in Albania, one of the best things to do once you finish from Tirana, the capital, is road trips. And there's so many beautiful places that you can check out. And I just wish I stayed in Albania for almost 1 or 2 months, because 2 weeks was not enough. There's so many beautiful places to explore and check out. So we took a road trip from Tirana to Vlora, which was the 3rd largest city in the country. And we enjoyed a week there, and it was honestly super nice. We stayed in this Airbnb apartment that was very spacious and had lots of room right on the beach, and it cost us around 30 to 40 euros per night. But bearing in mind, depending what season you go, it could be a little bit more than that. The downstairs area was perfect, and it was very nice. You can walk along the strip with loads of restaurants, cafes and things to do. You can also rent a bike that can take you up and down the strip. Very limited, but it's just a little bit of fun. We really enjoyed it. We also found this hotel where you can spend 15 euros for the day and you get 2 beds, and you can enjoy the pool and the beach area, and it's called the Duke's Hotel. Honestly, it was a little bit of a hidden gem, because we were just driving to Vlora and I just saw it on the cliff, and I was like, wow, this looks really nice. Let's stop off to see if we can get like a day pass there. And lucky enough, they only charged 15 euros for 2 beds, and it was so beautiful. Honestly, such a serene location with the backdrop of the mountains. And there are other famous beach towns you can visit when you are in Albania, and some of them are Durrës, and that's closest to Tirana. It's more lively, it has more of a party vibe. The other ones are Himari and Dermi, it's got clear waters and a little bit more peaceful, and the other one is Saranda plus Kesmal. It's more of the southern hotspots and the turquoise beaches. It's much more busier in peak season. So my final thoughts, everyone. Who is Albania for? Albania is great for budget travelers, digital nomads, road trippers and adventurers. And the best time of year to go is around May to June or September. Skip August if you hate crowds. It's supposed to be the most busiest time. We went in May, just at the end of May, and it was perfect. Like, everywhere was very peaceful. The beach area was super nice, and as we were leaving, the beach area started getting very busy, and a lot of the locals told us that this is the best time to come if you want to enjoy it with the locals and get a peaceful time. And I hope this guide helps you have the best trip possible. And as always, if you guys have got any questions or need anything specific, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and also to DM me on my Instagram if you've got any questions as well. And I have also left down below in the description box 10 things you can do that you can check out when you're in Albania, whether if you're in the beach areas or in Tirana, like different types of road trips, experiences you can book. So if you're wondering what activities you can do, I've already created a list for you guys to check out, and it's all in the description. And as always, everyone, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like it and leave me a subscribe and a comment so I can hear your thoughts. And remember guys, once I reach 100,000 subscribers, I am going to take one lucky subscriber with me on an adventure with me, and I can't wait for that video because it's just going to be so epic. As always guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out and good night.